Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network, back in action once again. Gonna hit the Sunset Strip right here in Las Vegas. The A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series firing things off, race number 2 here in season number 10. Will we see Alex Wiggins get to victory lane for the second time? The beginning stages of the season, the 11 Canadian Tire truck is super quick, was in the top of the charts in happy hour right now. The premier racing setup, pole award, qualifying session underway, track temperature 92 degrees, 87 out there for the fans that begin to file into the stands as we get set to switch track side. Before we go, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight once again. As always, Dave in the Cave with all the calls trackside. Speaking of trackside, let's go ahead and shift our focus into some of those quick times. Sitting top of the speed charts, fast time on the track belongs to the 404 of Dave Gage. 30:72 is the quick time here in qualifying. And we alluded to it already last week at Daytona. Gage, one of those wily, very skilled veterans that we're used to seeing at the top of the speed chart, struggled a little bit in the Xfinity ride last season, but here in the trucks, back in form and back At the top of the speed charts, holding down the provisional pole for the moment, is Dave Gage. How about Daniel Jensen and Christian Abate sitting inside of your top 3 positions? Jake Dauphin gonna bring that number 9 Top Gun pressure washing. Fast forward F-150 into the outside of row number 2. Just a few seconds remaining here in qualifying, so just like that, we're gonna into a brief commercial break, trackside for your national anthem, and get things started with tonight's lineup for the Sphere 115. We'll be back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular their bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And as the Jets finish the flyover, the trucks begin to roll. Here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's time to bring you tonight's the starting lineup in the Sphere 115, starting inside row number 1, walking away with the Premier Racing Center Pole Award here tonight. Behind that fast 404, Dave Gage will bring us to the green flag. Daniel Jensen just to his outside with Christian Abate and Jake Dauphin. Outside row number 2, inside row number 3, Cody Schultz, followed by Alex Wiggins. Overstreet McConville back in row number 4, row number 5 here tonight, the 91 of Patrick Worrell and the 16 of Derek Moore. Newcomer Matt West and Doug Argabright gonna round out your top 12. Engel and Timms, Wayne Miller and Tarnowski finish out the 17 truck field. That's gonna do it for your starting lineup. Ace truck ducks off and we are ready to roll. here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the gas, and green flag flies for the first time here from Vegas. Jensen falling back from second to third now, challenged from the inside. The 93 of Michael Overstreet looks to take the position away. Overstreet gets the nose of the truck down there, not quite able to get it. Jensen struggles on lap number 1 from the high side. Christian Avanti going to move into second. The gauge complete. Lap number 1 at the front of the field will stay side by side for a moment. Schultz and Overstreet will figure that one on out. A little bit further back through the field, that number 9 of Jake Tofing losing 4 positions on the lap number 1, now going to settle into the 8th position. Single file at the front of the field, starting to get single file in the back. All the laps seems to be the agenda early here tonight from Vegas. Looking to have a little bit better of a run of it here this week out in the West Coast side of things. Florida was not too pretty for him. Had a handful of laps. Ended up walking away with a junk truck last week from Daytona International Super Speedway. So that's Snake River Racing number 4 looking to improve on the point standings. Still very early, long way to go for these drivers before we start chalking up those championship true contenders. That 4 is going to be in the talk in the end, or by the end of things, we should say, as we're halfway down the backstretch. Lap number 4, only your last season champion on the bottom of the racetrack. A little bit further deep in the field on Parker Wright, sitting outside of the top 10 as the leader crosses the line. Lap number 5 going to go on the board, and we'll drop that time in scoring. Up there to the left-hand side of your screen, let you follow along with your favorite driver in the field. It's not from Vegas. So it does look like single file racing for the most part at the front of the field, but back in the back, they're still mixing things up. A little fresh look. Let's get a closer look, guys. Can you get in? Yeah, it's an iconic look. You can see that good wrench number 3 machine, new paint scheme, new number. Nicholas Wing up 4 positions from where he qualified here tonight. Look for Wing to be topic of discussion a little bit later on throughout this fuel run. Look for that 3 to head to the front. We're going to dip back to the front of the field. Got a little bit of a battle going on here. Cody Schultz all over the tail end of Daniel Jensen, the 4 to 5, really 3rd and 4th. Overclass we are used to seeing here, but these drivers making the most of an outrun for the rest of the field, struggling to keep pace as we will end things under the lights here tonight. So the transition and the grip and the speed of the racetrack will be something these truck drivers are going to have to handle and deal with throughout the course of the time. So we're discussing which crew chiefs have dialed up the changes correctly to continue the run to the front or the run at the front. Early race leader, your pole sitter, has led every lap so far. 8 behind us, 9 goes on the board in the sphere, 115. Jump around a little bit, see what we can find for all the race fans out there in TV land. Taking another look at that number 3 machine of Nicholas Wing, Jake Dofing in the Top Gun. Pressure washing number 9 right behind him. Looking to his inside. Here comes that 10 of Andrew McConville. McConville was one of those quick drivers in happy hour. Had a little bit of a rough go of it at the start of tonight's race, dropping 5 positions in his first opening laps. McConville and the Chicken Max. bit of an uphill battle throughout the course of the rest of tonight's race. You can see up at the racetrack the Frosty Bunny, Lockheed Martin, number 91. A little bit off of the racing line. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll see if he may be saving some tires. I know what you're already thinking out there in TV land. Here he goes on the tire, kicking the strategies. Well, you know what? That's what racing's about, really. Up at the front, these guys are already formulating more than likely a different strategy than that 4-truck group that is right behind them. They're out front almost by a second for the third and fourth. Teammates running third and fourth, we would expect to see them start to try to mirror each other's strategy, to continue to try to work with each other and run down those top two. Michael Overstreet sits in fifth, with Derek Moore in sixth. A dominating run last year. Let's give this man some credit where credit is due, working his way off of turn number 2, now down the backstretch and into turn 3. Right there, that fast forward Haas Energy Drink number 16 machine. One of the winningest drivers last season in the Xfinity Series. But it's a whole new ballgame. We're in the trucks, we're not the Xfinity rides. I get that, I know it. But the talent that it takes to control the step up in horsepower. Even with the increase of the downforce, the horsepower differences between the truck series and the Xfinity is phenomenally larger than what you would expect. So we would expect that we would be able to handle this truck pretty well. Had a pretty decent run of it last week at Daytona to open the season up. We'll see the winningest driver in season number 9 string a handful of wins here in season 10. Biggest battles on the track going on right here. A little bit of a curve. As the Canadian Tire number 11 machine. Alex Wiggins, last week's race winner, starting to make some headway through the field. Right now has a podium finisher last week. We've seen Jeffrey Engel walk away with third. There you can see him on the outside lane in that Tucker truck company. Number 89 machine. But Arga Bright's going to make his way by. Looking to the inside now is Nicholas Wing, who's up 5 positions, knocking on the door of the top 10. Will he get it? Looks like he's going to secure it for the moment, but the 91. Big moment there on the front stretch. Everybody able to make it clean and clear, but Engel with a huge moment. Big save, and that could be the telltale story of the race. I know you might think I'm crazy, but later on, we're going to keep that in mind. Is that save what saved the race for this 89? Let's take another look real quick if we can. We got it on camera. Let's inside look at how far sideways he is on this front stretch. My goodness. That's got to be an easy 45-degree angle that he is sliding through the trioval. Able to keep the truck underneath him and head in the right direction. Man, white knuckle moment. All-state save of the race. See if we have another one that can top that. 28 of Tornell's going to look to the bottom now. Engel going to suffer a little bit here with the tire grip after that big long slide. 77 of John Timms right here. Matt West just lurking in the background. The rookie ran well last week. He's got some sponsors on board this week, man. We spoke about it. If you go back and you watch last week's race, you can hear us saying, this guy's got some talent. We need to give him some sponsorship out there. And West got himself some sponsorship. Good to see that Pennzoil. Number 557 out there on the racetrack. Where do we got some battles, guys? Let's go to some action if we can. Let's go right here. Close. Dauphin brings that number 9 down just off of the front end. The 91 of Patrick Coro having to lift off and throttle just a little bit to avoid any contact, chaos, and calamity. Will stay green flag racing as the leader crosses the line, lap number 20 on the board. Some wonderful sights and sounds here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Down the backstretch back into turn number 3, your Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner. Behind the wheel of that fast bow tie, the Chevy Silverado, looking clean and mean at the front. He's got the Bucky's 45 of Christian Abati right behind him. These two have been a tandem since lap number 1. And Jensen and Cody Schultz right behind him. 3rd and 4th, they've been running nose to tail this entire time as well. And looking at things right now, this does have the look, it does have a feel of a long green flag run here, so drivers may be beginning. Start talking to those crew chiefs about the fuel mileage, about how we're looking, about how many stops we're gonna anticipate drivers having to make 2 stops here tonight in order to get to the end. The official race distance here in Sphere 115. But with only 4 sets of tires in the field, if we get ourselves a handful of cautions, things could get a little bit interesting with that. With the tire strategy, with the fuel strategies, will drivers come down and take fuel only? Will they utilize those extra 1 or 2 sets of tires? Do you want to keep one and hold one back for inside the final 20 laps in case we have a caution? That's going to be another thing. If these drivers get caught out through the middle of a green flag pit cycle, or a green flag run, I should say, do they come down, take that extra set, possibly putting themselves in a bad position for later on in the race? These are all things crew chiefs have got to think about. These are all things that the drivers have the luxury of not worrying about. They got a job to do, and that's to get their machines around the track just as quickly as they can, doing a good job at the front of it. We're going to take a look from what would be the passenger seat on board now, with a 404 of Dave Gage as he leads us off of turn number 4. What a beautiful look here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, man, I tell you what. And I don't know what would be better, celebrating a race win in Las Vegas with the Showgirls, or having a beach party after winning the race at Daytona. We know Gage has got ties down in Florida, home state hero, if you will, from Orlando, Florida. Always showing up and showing out for the PR Taco Palace and Margarita Bar crew. So maybe he would have had a little bit of a, I don't know, Margarita Bar. Dave, if you do it, let us know. We're making the trip down, bud. I can promise you that. I really don't know what's better than margaritas and tacos, to be honest. maybe that may be a little troublesome since I'm Italian. Then, you know, I'm willing to have margaritas and tacos every day. It ain't gotta be just a Tuesday. I'm just gonna throw that out. But we gotta sneak in some pasta. We gotta sneak into pasta, and we gotta sneak into pizza. Otherwise, we're gonna have some problems. But enough about me. Let's get back to the action on the track. Dave Gage now able to separate himself as Abati falls back into the clutches of Daniel Jensen and Cody Schultz. And this move right here could bring those top four back together. But let's not forget about the guys right behind him. Overstreet, Moore, Wiggins, Arger, Bright, all lined up with each other. So we've got about 4 trucks at the front, all within striking distance of each other. Then here comes that next back right there. Overstreet, Moore, Wiggins, and Arger, Bright finishing out your top 8. Nicholas Wing and Jake Dofing a little bit off pace. Wing sitting about a half a second back, but he's going to bring along Dofing and Coro. So your top 11 all within just about 4 seconds of each other. 4 seconds is a long time though. Way up the track goes last week's race winner, Wiggins, searching for a little grip through the center of 1 and 2. As we cross the line this time around, quarter of the way through tonight's race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Sphere 115 being brought to you by the American Sim Motor Racing, Hauck Designs, Truck Series, and a huge shout out to everybody back at Hauck Designs, your, no pun intended on our qualifying sponsors, but the premier graphics designing group for iRacing.com. A lot of the trucks out there on the track being touched by the hand of somebody over there at the Hauck Designs team. Doing some phenomenal paint jobs, not just here on these trucks, just about any machine you can think of on iRacing.com. So if you're in the market, looking around for a paint scheme, maybe you need a new driver's suit and helmet, maybe you want to spit the pit crew up, hit them up at Hauck Designs. Drivers easily completing these first 34 laps in the Gambler's Hall. Looks like it might be having a little bit of issues with some of the votes. We're not going to get into all of those votes. And by the way, here we go. Let's get this right out the gate. We are no longer allowed to give you our dark horse pick of the race so early in the race. If you know about the broadcaster's curse, anytime we clue in on a driver and really start talking him up, it never fails. The driver's gonna have an issue, the driver's gonna have some trouble, whether it's pit road problems or an issue on track. So we're gonna dial it back a little bit. We do have a dark horse of the night. We watched Happy Hour, we watched qualifying, and we do have a dark horse. And he is not the man leading the race. We're gonna leave it at that. But we'll let you know. 25 to go. And if you don't believe us, if we get enough people out there in the chat asking who, or if we get, I'll tell you what, if we get 5 people to tell us who they think is going to win tonight's race, we'll put our pick out in the chat. We're not going to say it live on air because we don't want to take that chance. It is a real thing, just saying. Christian Abati going to head to pit road, the 45 Buccaneers. Chevy Silver, first driver to hit pit lane. We'll see if this is a scheduled stop or if he's fixing some damage. Looks to be a normal pit stop. Scheduled stop early here tonight for Abati. Side by side now. Almost touching. As more drivers head to pit lane. Alex Wiggins going to take over the race lead, become just our second race leader of the night. Gage, Jensen, Schultz, Overstreet, McConville, Timms, Engel along pit road. Looks like the rest of the field is going to come down pit lane this time around. Zach Miller, Brian Chernowski. What do? Looks like they're going to head down pit road. U.S. Army Esports, Toyota Tundra. On pit road, that's going to leave the field back in the hands of this gentleman right here. No, it's not. Christian Abate's got something to say about it. He's going to go motoring right on past. Just a one lap difference. He came to pit road one lap earlier, and there you see the dividends that it has paid. Was within a second of Dave Gage when he headed to pit road. And here he is, taking over the race lead by well over 2.5. New race leader, front of the field, the Bucky's number 45 of Christian Abate with that early pit stop. Going to put a 3-second gap over Dave Gage. How about Daniel Jensen and Alex Wiggins? Able to make up a little bit of ground. Jensen right here now with that 404 of the Gage. They're going to battle for second and third on the racetrack. Wiggins, more Overstreet, and Argobright. They just can't seem to shake each other. So the first round of green flag pit stops begins on lap number 36. Let's keep that in mind, race fans. That's leaving Abate coming to pit road somewhere around lap 70. What is that? 72? 73? 70 to 73? Gonna put him back on pit road somewhere around lap 100. Pit stops could get interesting after we begin to look at some of these lap counts and some of these times. Group right here, Doug Argabright. If you could stretch this thing out for another 38 lap stint, that's coming to pit road right around lap number 76. You do the math. Go ahead. Tell me what that number is. Right there at it. These guys may be able to make it. More Wiggins, Overstreet, Argabright, Ring, Coro, Dofing, Schultz. They may indeed have made just enough fuel mileage to make it on the two-stopper. It's going to be close to see if Christian Abate is going to be able to get that done. Dave Gage and Daniel Jensen also in that same boat of being just on the cusp. They may have to save us a little bit of fuel, but at the front for the moment, he ain't saving nothing. I can promise you this right here, not saving a drop. All the gas hard pound down the back stretch and into turn number 3, race leader behind the wheel of that Bucky's number 45. Christian Abate shows the way. Gonna jump around the track just a little bit, trying to bring you some more action. It's going down as these drivers continue to lay the fast laps down. 45 on the board now. Jake Doping, Cody Schultz, 10th and 11th on the racetrack. The Snake River Racing Toyota Racing Development sponsor Tundra of Cody Schultz looking for a little bit of ground here as we venture closer to that halfway point. Andrew McConville, just a little bit of a rough night here tonight for that number 10 machine. had a decent qualifying effort, but dropped 5 positions at the start of tonight's race. He's been able to make 2 of those back up now, down only 3 as he just makes the pass on Schultz to move himself into that 11th position and transition a little closer to that top 5 of the entire 11 machine of Alex Wiggins, last week's race winner, sitting right there in 5th. Overstreet, Arga Bright, battle on TV, right here front and center of your screen. He ain't loving it right now, but will he be singing a jingle and victory? Got a little bit to find out. The sun is gonna set. But as the temperature cools, the action will heat up. We'll see if we have any white knuckle moment. So far, just one man with a huge moment tonight. We got to give this man credit where credit is due. A little bit behind the 8 ball now after that big moment through the triangle. The Tucker can I promise I've got it right. The Turner Trucking Company. There you go. For some reason, Jeffrey, but that is just one of my brain doesn't like the function of it. We're gonna get you covered. We're gonna get you right though. But this guy right here had an amazing run last week at Daytona. Finished on the podium position in one of his very few starts here with this league. So again, hats off to him and what he's accomplished already, starting the season off on the right track, and then showing us it's not about just speed with him. He is a driver's driver, saving the truck with that big slide through the triangle. The Turner Trucking Company, number 89. Got a lot of headway to make up. We'll see if he can get it done, sitting 17 and a half seconds back after our first round of pit stops. And we'll see if Engel can slide his way a little closer to the front. Speaking of the front, back out front, Christian Abate, 3 seconds in front of the battle on screen. We talked about him being there, getting there, and here he is. That NOS Energy 0. Number 16, Derek Moore, fastest forward in the field, representing the Blue Ovals at the front of the field, sitting in 3rd. Looking for more. Can these 2 drivers run down Abate at the front? Christian hasn't really been able to open it up much further than that 3-second mark. And now it looks like he may be losing a little bit of ground to 2 very fast, skilled veterans. Let's take a look from inside. As we watch the battle unfold, there it is, Derek Moore. He's going to push the envelope, push the issue, dunk down to the bottom of the racetrack, try to hold it off the corner exit. Almost contact. Sheesh. Almost contact right there between Gage and Moore. If you don't think these drivers ain't giving it their all, there's a prime example right there. Taking a little look back now on that NOS 0 Energy machine as he falls back in line behind Dave Gage, but I can guarantee you he ain't done yet. We're gonna go back on board. Let's see if we can watch this pass happen again. Maybe laying off just a little bit, so we'll jump back outside of the truck, watch this battle unfold as now 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all within striking distance of each other. Daniel Jensen making his presence felt. We got a bigger battle on hand, guys. Can we get back to that one, please? Let's get back. Oh. Just as we say that, these guys at the front get a little bit closer to each other. Gage, Moore, and Jensen right there with each other. But let's go back here for just a brief moment. There you can see 4 drivers lined up nose to tail. Last week's race winner, last season's champion inside of this top 4. New number, new paint. number 3 of Nicholas Wing. Could tonight be the night that Wing improves on that second place showing from 1 week ago? Can he possibly put that good wrench number 3 in victory lane here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway? We're gonna have to wait and find out, as we've still got just about, what's that gonna be, guys? Just about 57 laps remaining. Looking to the inside now, Arga Bright looking to make the pass on Overstreet. The 93 gonna head to the top side of the racetrack, opening up the door for the bottom. Nice run through the center of the 1 and 2. Arga Bright slides up, crossover coming. Ooh-wee. Crossover was coming. Arga Bright a little loose out of turn number 2. That's going to force the 93 to check up just a little bit. Overstreet is now going to have to battle to keep the position away from that 3 of Nicholas Wing. And if he's not careful, that door will stay open, and the Canadian Tire number 11 may peek his nose to the inside as well. A little bit of a drive. 2. Look for Wing to be quick down the backstretch. Let's head back up front, guys. We got a big battle heading or culminating here. These two guys still going at it, still reeling in Abati at the front of the field as well. We got a lot of action. There's a lot of stuff going on here tonight, so if you haven't already, show these drivers some love. Oh my goodness, contact off of the nose of that 16, contact with the outside wall, and it may be a night that should have been. The 404 hard contact into the outside wall. He's going to immediately into pit lane. This is really going to play with the strategy now. Dave Gage, big time trouble. Your Premier Racing setup pulled award winner with trouble, and now Moore has lost that second position as Daniel Jensen pounces on the problems and takes second position away. Jensen right back to where he started tonight's race from. It's been a long road to get there, but he has been a topic of discussion. We'll see if Jensen can slide away and try to reel in Abati at the front, who has opened things up now, knocking on the door of a 4-second advantage. So we got a few things working for us here in our betting pool, and unfortunately it's gonna come at the expense of a handful of others. Looks like they're gonna bring the 404 behind the wall. If his night is done, your Premier Racing setup pull award winner Dave Gage will finish tail end of the field here tonight. Tough break for Gage. Very fast Silverado in the field here tonight. A little bit of contact and some major contact on the outside wall. Going to put an end to his night. Meanwhile, Abati starting to stretch things out at the front of the field. One of the gambles, or one of the parlays, we should say, was, will we have a caution? I'm trying to get these numbers right, if I can remember them correctly. And it was, will we have a caution before lap 27, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember if that is correct. Yes, that was correct. Lap 27, and we have definitely surpassed that. So If anybody out there voted and picked for that caution after lap number 27, hats off to you. You're still in the running, still in the mix. We're not going to give away too many more of those parlay bets. We're going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Let's take a look here. We've got drivers still running all over each other. The 93s right there. Doug Oliver right there. Nicholas Wynn, as well as Alex Wiggins. All looking for some positions. You need to look for some time. I don't know that battling amongst yourself is the smartest thing to do at this juncture in tonight's race. We've already had one green flag pit stop. It looks like we are on the doorsteps of a second round of green flag pit stops. So time's running out. You gotta go. Period. You can ill afford to play games. Looking to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for a position. Here comes that 3 swing, side by side with Overstreet on for 4. Back across the line. No clear-cut advantage for either of the drivers as Alex Wiggins just kind of waits the wings in the background. Looking to see what is done, and there it is. Pass for position made, but not giving up the fight on the high side there. Michael Overstreet not going down without a fight. Wiggins going to try to open the door. Stick his foot in right there. Almost some contact. Close racing action here between these truck drivers, and that is just how serious each and every point is between these drivers. They ain't willing to give. They ain't giving up nothing. You're gonna have to take it. You're gonna have to earn it. You're gonna have to go get it. I just ain't gonna give it to you. And while we love that mentality, we love that style, we want to look at this in retrospect as well. Tempers can easily flare. Tempers can easily fly when the racing is so intense between such high-level drivers. You look at the battles on Sunday with the big boys in NASCAR, right? You got those little feuds. Everybody hates Denny Hamlin. And I'm just kidding. Denny has some problems with people. People have some problems with Denny. And same thing goes for Ross Chastain. Apparently, some people have some problems with Carson A.S.M.R. So, I mean, you have those drivers that you have those heated battles with. Sometimes you come out a little punch drunk after them, but it is what it is. That's why we race them. And week in, week out, we're going to be right here each and every Wednesday night with the A.S.M.R Help Designs Truck Series. So as we are just around the corner from those green flag pit stops, battles right here inside of your top 5. The number 3 going to take over that 5th position. Now Alex Wiggins looking to slide into 6th. Falling back through the field now is Overstreet. And if Overstreet ain't careful, Schultz is going to be right there too. Remember that number 5 machine was near the front of the field earlier here today. Had some issues, but has brought himself back into the mix. Just outside of your top 5, heading to the top side of the racetrack. A little bit of a wiggle there down on the bottom for that 93 of Overstreet. He's going to pay the price through the center of the corner exit and down the back stretch, giving up a little bit of ground now. Overstreet falls back to 8th as your race leader heads to pit road. That's going to give Derek Moore the race lead as he becomes our official 4th different leader of the night. And in a big way. Over 5 seconds back to the 41 of Doug Argabright. Nicholas Wing right there running in 3rd. Alex Wiggins in 4th. Cody Schultz and Jake Dofing still out there on the racetrack, but a little bit behind the ball. McConville, Timms, Miller, West, Tarnowski still out there on the racetrack. Cody Schultz going to head down pit road this time. So the green flag pit stop's definitely going to shake things up. To see where it all shakes out. And we're going to be interested to see just how things fare for this 45 of Abati. And like clockwork, lap number 36, lap number 72. Do the math. 36 more laps from here, that only gets you to 110. Somebody check my math on that. I've got to be right. Another 108 is what I'm hearing. 108. Is that 108 to 110? I'd be close enough. This ain't horseshoes, it ain't hand grenades, but we're close enough anyway. 5 laps? Saving fuel for 5 laps? I'm not sure. McConville, West, and Campbell's all to pit road this time around. John Tim's going to head to pit road as well. The number 77 comes to the attention of his pit crew here tonight for what could be the money stop. This could be the final time we see these drivers on track. Getting himself back on the lead lap is that 45 as race leader Moore heads to pit road. Staying out on the track, extending the run here, the 41 to 3, as well as the 11 of Alex Wiggins. Patrick Coro 3.5 seconds back, but the 91 Cross Buddies Lockheed Martin machine stays out on the racetrack. Let's take a look at this gunmetal machine. Looking good under the lights here tonight, man. I tell you what. Everybody at the front heads to pit lane. That will hand the race lead back over to this gentleman right here. Christian Avanti looks to step out, step away, and finish the night off with a easy little Sunday drive here on the delights at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Back across the line, back to the top of the board. Christian Avanti in control of tonight's race, and it looks like he is trying to close in on the 50 laps led mark. Do you think he could possibly get it done? Sitting at just over 40 laps led. Christian Avanti doing the thing at the front of this field. We're going to take a little look through the field right now. See, do we got some good battles, guys? Do we got any battles out there on the racetrack? Let's see if we can go to this one right here. Michael Overstreet running with Cody Schultz and Derek Moore just off in front of him. Moore sitting in that third position, up 7 spots and qualified. Michael Overstreet up 4 positions. So a good run here for a handful of drivers. This is where the battle is. This is where the action is going down. As you can see, Jeffrey Engel trying to keep himself out in front of these guys. But he is listed off of the lead lap. Back in the 16th position here tonight. Just a struggle ever since that long slide through the trioval. The 89 Turner Trucking Company machine has just not been quite right. Wonder if anything got damaged, possibly in the transmission, in the axles, the drivetrain, something, because that 89 just has not been the same since that long slide. Looking for some action? Always count on that iconic paint scheme to be in the middle of something at all times. Nicholas Wing knocked on the door of the top 5 during the course of our latest green flag stint. We'll see if this good wrench number 3 has got that long run pace once again. Will he be able to pick off a handful of positions? Looking to the inside for a moment, thought better rather than number 9. Pressure washing Ford F-150 of Jake Dofing, going to keep that 7th position for the time being as Arga Bright looks to step away from these two guys. Close little battle, close little action. Let's go off of the front end of Nicholas Wing. There you can see just how close the action is down into turn 1. And another thing to note right now that can really change the dynamics of tonight's race: lap traffic. We're less than 40 laps away from the end of tonight's race here at the Sphere 115 Las Vegas Motor Speedway, race number 2, season number 10 for the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series. Lap traffic, will it be a factor? Will it be a key? Taking a look now. Abati does have some time to give up a 10-second advantage. He has checked out. That boy gone. Field's gonna need a caution. Plain and simple. Field's gonna need a caution if they're gonna want to catch up. Either that or he is going to have he's going to have to be way short on the field. He's going to have to save massively if this field is going to want to try to make that deficit up. Let's take a look at it real quick. Do we got that graphic this week, guys? The pit stop graphic, yes. The stint one there. See, this is why we love you. And there you can see right there, 36 on the money. Already 14 laps into tonight's race. The final stop, I should say, or third stint, however you want to categorize it. You see more sitting there with 38 laps apiece. Arga Bright, Wing 38 and 39. They definitely have enough fuel. Losing at least 2 to 4 laps on the field is a Bonzi with this pit stop strategy. And although he's made a hell of a gain right now, was over a 10-second advantage, already crept to about 9 3/4. Can he keep this pace up for just a little under 30 laps? We're going to keep our eye on the speed charts at the front, but let's get to the battle on track. Let's get to some action here. The number 28 of Brian Turnowski going to go to the top of the racetrack. The Hauck Designs have a 28 machine off of the pace, off of the lead lap, sitting back in the 16th position. Just a little bit of a rough go here tonight for that number 28 machine, but Turnowski, I'm pretty sure, will be bouncing back. The Waukesha, Wisconsin. Yeah, you didn't think I remembered it, huh? The Waukesha. Got it. Just saying. Anyways, Arga Bright with some fierce competition right here for that final position inside of the top 5. Nicholas Wing really wants it, really looking for that position. He is your biggest mover in the race so far here tonight, up 9 positions from where he qualified. Wing either helping himself or hurting some other drivers' opinions. These parlays, biggest mover of the race, over or under 7.5 positions, and right now that is being shattered by wing in that number 3 Goodrich machine. Will somebody do it? Will they get the job done? Will Wing somehow be able to pick up the final spot with himself inside of a top 5? We're going to find out here in just another 24 laps at who's going to be in victory lane as Christian Abante begins to count down the miles to the checkered flag. We're going to stay right here with this battle as it is your closest and biggest battle on the racetrack. An amazing run here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, right? A mile and a half. Track that is just super fast, and you can get yourself in trouble. Let's not make no mistakes about it. This isn't just some Sunday drive. Although these drivers are making it look pretty easy. And this isn't a track that is easy to be fast at. It's very easy to overstep the boundaries of both the downforce and the handling and the grip of these trucks. It's very easy to get them back into slide out. We've seen and into the outside wall. The Pennzoil, number 5, 74 of Matt West, into the outside wall. Want to give him some respect for trying to stay out of the way, but you want to try to keep it out of that outside wall. We're not critiquing, we're just making some talking points here, so no harm, no foul there. Still sitting in that 14th position, down 1 lap. Not the only one down 1 lap either, so the rookie, after a great start to Daytona, Las Vegas, the house may be winning. Let's take a look up here at the battle for second, or for third and fourth. I apologize. Third and fourth on the racetrack. Cody Schultz and Derek Moore right here going at it. We talked about Schultz being one of those drivers that was up at the front in that first green flag stand. For whatever reasons, had a little bit of issue with the middle portion of tonight's race. But now the long run pace, the long run speed started to showcase itself once again with 20 to go. The front running Toyota in the field sits in the final podium position. We'll see if Schultz can snatch his first podium of the season, or will Moore play spoiler here tonight? We got a lot more action, no pun intended, coming your way. Just about 20 to go, 19 left as we cross the line that time around. Race lead all but Avanti's to lose at this point in time. At this juncture in tonight's race, he's got a big gap back to the drivers behind him as he looks to put the number 77 of John Timms also down 1 lap. That's going to leave us with just your top 10 remaining on that lead lap. And I'm not so sure he's going to catch up to the 10 of McConville or that 91 of Patrick Coro, but never say never. We'll see how he goes about it. Let's go back to some battles here. Let's go back to this 3-truck battle between Argerbright, Wiggins, and Wing. We're going to be able to count Jake Dofing in this mix as well. The number 9 Top Gun machine. Beautiful number 9. That's that Everham Casey Kane number 9 for all of those Kane fans out there. If you don't recognize it, that is it right there. Beautiful, subtle touch on that 9 machine. Can't say I'm mad at it, Jake. A lot of different drivers at the front of this field. They started there. Derek Moore Cody Schultz, Doug Argabright, all multiple positions gained throughout tonight's race. Jake Dofing dropping 4 spots, still running well in that Top Gun pressure washing over Ford F-150, but the man just in front of him, Nicholas Swing, biggest mover of the race, up 8 positions so far. I think he's wanting a little bit more. I'd want a little bit more. I'd want a lot more, but 15 laps to go. I think victory lane may just be out of reach. Unless we see some type of late race caution, but the way these guys are at it right now, I do not foresee trouble. I believe we're going to have a flag-to-flag race here tonight under the lights in Sin City, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Sphere 115 for the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series. Derek Moore able to work his way around that 5 of Schultz. Moore going to put his number 16 into the top 3. 13 to go this time by. Abati, Jensen, Moore, Schultz, and Argabright. Now your top 5. You know what? We're going to make a comparison, and there it is. We didn't think he had enough fuel. Your race leader, Christian Abati, to pit lane. Christian Abati to pit lane. That's going to hand over the race lead. The number 4 of Daniel Jensen, race leader with 12 to go. Does Jensen have the fuel? We talked about it, man. We said we weren't sure if he had enough fuel, and we were right on the money that he was going to be a handful of lanes short. He's going to come to pit road a little bit early and try to minimize the time on pit road. Just a splash of fuel, 6 seconds stationary in the box, but now sitting back in the 10th position with the race leader closing in quickly. Christian Abati goes from what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I hate it right there on the tip of my tongue, and now I can't remember. But nonetheless, we're gonna move on. Big battle now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th for Schultz, Argabright. Wiggins and Wings still in the mix. And Christian Abati back on pit road. The night has gone awry. This is going to be a night of what ifs, maybes, and buts. Christian Abati, pit road penalty. Back down pit road. Tough night here tonight for that bump is number 45. What looked to be a race that was in the bag and all but secured has gotten away from Abati. Trouble for a late race pit stop. That changes the dynamics at the front. Daniel Jensen out front with Moore, Schultz, Argabright, and Wiggins all right behind him. Nicholas Swing in tow, sitting in that 6th position. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all in a line. You can see him right here, halfway down the back stretch and into turn number 3. Daniel Jensen enjoys a 6.3 second advantage out front. A little bit of a Sunday drive as he goes behind the 77 of John Timms. That's going to put Timms back off of the lead lap, leaving us with just 9 drivers remaining. Small gaps between Schultz and Argerbright, but big. Oh, and there it is. Jensen has to head to pit road. Daniel Jensen to pit road. That's going to leave the field into the hands of this man right here. We talked about him earlier. We didn't give you our dark horse pick, but here he is, front of the field, leading with 6 to go. Made his way to the front, picking up 9 positions on his course through the field. And with 6 laps remaining, the last time he was on pit road was lap number 76. And if our crew chiefing is crew chiefing right now, if our math is mathing, he's going to be close. But so are the guys behind him. Cody Schultz is in the worst shape of anybody inside of this top 5 right now. He was last to pit road on lap 73. So if we see that 5 give up pace or head down pit road, we know what it's for. Does more Argerbright, Wiggins, and Wing have enough fuel? 4 laps to go as we cross the line this time around in the Sphere 115. An amazing run here tonight for the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Truck Series Green Flag Racing all night long. No caution to speak of. A little bit of trouble for a handful of drivers tonight, but a very clean, competitive, strategy-filled race. A lot of different fuel strategies going on here. There it is, Cody Schultz. We called it. 3 to go. Cody Schultz has to come to pit road for fuel. That's going to put Argerbright into second, and last week's race winner back in a podium position. Alex Wiggins going to move to third. And how about the double-digit gainers here tonight, man? Doug Argerbright sitting in second, up 10 spots. Nicholas Wing sitting in fourth, up 11 spots, off of 4. This time by. Leader crosses the line. Popsicle sticks go on display. Just 2 to go here in Vegas. Battle still raging for that final podium position. Let's take a look right here. Let's not forget about this action on the racetrack. We're going to watch as Derek Moore works his way off the 4, back across the stripe, and the white flag flies. Final lap here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Truck Series. Moore, less than a mile lays between him and his first season 10 win. Is this the kickstart of those multiple wins we alluded to? He went on a run in that winner's column in the Xfinity ride. Is this the race that catapults him into multiple race-winning performances? I don't know, but he's gonna cross the line first, and your race winner here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the man behind the wheel of that number 16 machine. Derek Moore gonna get the job done here tonight. Walk away with the race win. A little bit of congratulatory efforts being shown right there by fellow competitors Argerbright and Wiggins. Amazing job by Moore, though. What a run, what a night, what a performance for that non-zero energy drink Toyota Tundra. And gets the job done. He's going to give the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show with his post-race celebrations. As we await the burn down, we're going to get set and ready to head off to a brief sponsor break as we get set up for the post-race show. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And back high above the track here tonight at the conclusion of tonight's The Sphere 115 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a race we had tonight. Some amazing passes, some amazing battles, some tight racing action, strategy laid out on top of it. A handful of drivers with some trouble, but nonetheless, we worked our way through this entire race without a single caution to speak of. And we're going to take just a moment. Let's see if we can dial up a handful of these drivers that walked away on the podium here tonight from the winner's circle back on the podium once again. He's going to make it back-to-back visits in the post-race show. Alex, it's Dave. How you feeling, bud?
Consistent. Feeling good.
Well, man, it's not another first place finish, but it is indeed another trip to the podium. So the points definitely looking good. 2 races into tonight, into the season after tonight. How you really feeling about the rest of this season? Do you think it may be happening too soon? Do you think there's going to be a cool off? How do you feel about the rest of the year looking forward?
Last week I said I wasn't really good at plate tracks. I really don't like this track, and I'm doing good. So I don't know if that means I'm gonna do bad at the tracks I like. I hope not, because there's a lot coming up that I like. But I just hope things keep on going the way they are.
Well, see, you answered our next question then was going to be, well, how many tracks don't you like that are on the schedule? Because we may be talking to you there.
Yeah, there's a few for sure. A lot of them I haven't really been to.
There's a few. Love it. Man, Alex, an amazing start to the season. Had to save a little bit of fuel here tonight. Is that what's it like going from racing full bore, full speed to having to conserve and manage the fuel?
It's different for sure. It really just tells apart the field who knows how to, save every part of their car the most for the right time. And it's different for sure, from Daytona going all out to next week at Rockingham, you're going to be fighting the car and not really anybody around you. So it's a good change of pace for sure. Don't get to do it very often, so it's always fun to have a nice fuel race here and there.
Absolutely. Well, another great finish for you so far here in season number 10. We hope you continue the current trend, and we hope we get to continue to talk to you throughout the course of this season. But with that being said, before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Just all the admins that put this on and you for doing the broadcast. Just it's always good to sit down and have some fun every Wednesday.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming out. The hard-nosed racing action is definitely appreciated by all the fans in the stands and all the people in TV land. Alex, again, congratulations on a great run. Until we talk again, my man, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from last week's race winner. He's going to pick up another podium finish here tonight in the Sphere 115. Alex Wiggins going to park that Canadian Tire number 11. Home in the 3rd spot, and that's going to move us right along the list. Let's see if we can grab a few words with somebody else that we're used to talking to. He was your Xfinity Series champion, looking to get back to championship form. Not going to grab the checkered flag here tonight, but will walk away with second. Doug, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, I got you, sir.
Well, man, back on the podium. I don't want to call it a drought because, I mean, we're only 2 races in. But how good does it feel knowing that you had that championship season last year, and here you are on a podium early here in season number 10? Does it give you any confidence behind the wheel of that McDonald's machine?
I would call it a drought based on how few podiums I got last season, even though I won the championship. But I'm also super kind of extra critical on myself. But it's really nice being able to work strategy like that and knowing that I can do that because I'm not the greatest in the trucks. Like I was catching Derek while saving fuel to make sure I could make it the whole way, and then when I got to him, I knew I had enough and I could push. And just the dirty air, I couldn't do anything. Um, so knowing that I can at least, if I need to, strategy my way up, um, is really helpful because that adds another option in my back pocket.
Well, man, we're heading to Rockingham next week. It's a very tough track. No matter what you're behind the wheel in, I think people would struggle in go karts around Rockingham. It's just
Oh yeah.
a very tough, tricky track. A very tough track to be smooth and good at and fast. What's your outlook on that? And do you think if you can conquer the Rock, that the season's just left wide open?
Um, yes, my goal for Rockingham is usually my goal for every race is top 5. For this one, it's going to be top 10, just because I haven't run there enough to be consistent. So hopefully it's a good day and I can run well. But I know there's always the 0x bonus in my back pocket also. Um, so that kind of acts like an extra spot in front. Um, so it's gonna be kind of a crapshoot for me. See how I do. I'm gonna try to put in some practice and learn how to tame the rock. But if not, I'm not too worried about it because I know there's stronger tracks for me coming up, and I'm not worried if one doesn't go as well.
Absolutely. Big picture racing here in season number 10. The same thing that brought you that championship in season number 9. So we hope to have a chance to catch up with you throughout the course of the rest of the season. But as you alluded to, man, we didn't talk very much last season, and you ended up with the big boy hardware. We'll see how it all goes for you. But before we let you go here tonight, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Thank you, Lovey. You again always. Hopefully, I can do this more this season than last season. Um, Also, thank you for Dave. So I don't know if you guys got on the broadcast, but Dave did the pre-race speech in a New York accent because I asked him to, and it was hilarious. So thank you to Dave for doing that. I hate that he got taken out in the race. Um, and then just my fiance for letting me do this because we're she wanted me to come out a couple days ago, but I stayed here so I could race, and she, she let me. So thank you for that. And then yeah, just I don't know, thankful for being able to run fast. Hopefully, it can be fast consistently.
We hope that you have those consistent fast runs as well. One of the high caliber talents in this series, and I feel no matter what machine you get behind, you're going to be a problem child that they're going to have to deal with. So congratulations on the second place showing here tonight, Doug. We look forward to trying to catch up with you at the Rock, but until then, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from Doug Argerbright, season number 9 champion. Rare appearance in the post race show, but uh, something that, I mean, you heard it right from him. We didn't really want to throw that stat out, but very, very few podium finishes last season for Argerbright, and he was able to still walk away with the season championship. Could this be something that catapults his caliber, his level, his prestige to that next level? Still a long way to go here in season number 10. We're going to have to find out as it unfolds. As Doug Argerbright going to park that McDonald's number 41 home in Victory Lane. That's going to move us right along into Victory Lane. But the man that we've talked to multiple times throughout season number 9, going to make his first appearance in the post-race show here in season 10. Back in Victory Lane, Derek, you're no stranger to these checkered flag performances, but how good's it feel to snatch the first one in season 10?
Well, first thing, I want to apologize to Dave. We were having a pretty good battle up front, and I think we just had a little racing incident. He kind of washed up, and as I was trying to come down on him a little bit and hooked, and he hit the wall and killed his race. So I know he's mad. He he left the race pretty quick. So apologies, but I think looking back on it, it's just racing deal. But to answer your question, yeah, great. It's a lot better than last week. I felt like I was in the running last week at most restrictor plate races, and ended up in the wall. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect entirely from this race. So to come out on top, pretty happy.
Well, I'm not to make light of what you said, but you kind of did last week, and this is not a shot at you because you'll see what I'm about to say, but um, you did what most of us do when it comes to restrictor plate racing, trying to survive, and you end up dead. I mean, it usually happens.
Every
I
time.
mean, you
Every
know,
time.
it's one of them things. So, moving on from that, and most people move on from those restrictor plate races rather quickly just because it's such an unknown. But getting to Victory Lane here at Las Vegas, somewhat of a cookie cutter track. We've got a handful of other tracks that are pretty similar. We have some trying tracks out there as well. Going to get into one of them next week at Rockingham. But I want to particularly talk to you about a track that we didn't run last season. I don't believe we ran it our last season in the truck series here with A.S.M.R either. How are you feeling about August 21st, heat racing at night in the dirt behind the wheel of this truck?
Oh, I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a blast.
I think
I
people
don't
are in
think I'll be the
trouble.
strongest. I don't think I'll be the strongest one out there. I raced there with the trucks in another league, and it was actually really, really good. I think you have to watch out for Christian. He says he's not an oval guy, doesn't do dirt. He's a road course guy. He's got throttle control. He's pretty dang good. So watch out for him. But I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be a nice change of pace, especially from these big wide open tracks that you can't pass at, and you just running full throttle the whole time. So yeah, I think that's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see how you guys go when we hit Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway a little bit into the September time frame. Interested. I think I'm pretty interested in that. I think Turn 1 may catch a few guys out, but you know, dirt track racing in a machine that's not really meant for it, it can always be eventful. So we'll see how you guys
Yes,
go
for
about
sure.
that one. So with everything being said and done, man, congratulations with your first win of the season. We know last season you picked up a handful of those wins. We'll see how many you can rack up this year behind the wheel of the trucks. Congratulations on the checkered flag here tonight. Before we let you celebrate and enjoy this race win, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, thanks to all the admins for putting this on. Especially Dave. He does a good job as always, and he didn't get to finish his race, so that sucks. Thanks to you for putting the broadcast on. Thanks to my teammates. Thanks to my wife for putting up with me doing this every Wednesday. Thank my dad. He's putting in some little bit of work on the go-kart. We've had some off weeks, and we're gonna be back to racing on Sunday. So hopefully we have a good time out there. And I think tomorrow I'm gonna start my day off with a NOS Zero.
Well, what better way to kick off a day off than with a race win, man? Gotta love it that way. Gonna sleep well tonight, I am sure. Uh, Man, congratulations. I know we're going to talk again, so I'm not going to say if we talk again. It's going to be when we talk again. And we hope to see you soon here once again at the post-race show. Until then, Derek, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Fun, a few parting words for the man that walks away with the race win here tonight behind the wheel of that NOS Zero. Number 16 machine, Derek Moore, collects his first checkered flag here in season number 10. Will it be the first of many more to come? Yeah, I meant to do that, guys. That's terrible. Shh, don't tell anybody. Back on track. Sorry, sometimes we have those moments, and it is what it is. Derek Moore gonna walk away with a race win here in the Sphere 115 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and that's pretty much gonna do it for us here in the production booth. An amazing run, an amazing night. Tough break for that 404 of Dave Gage. He was In my opinion, he was going to be one of the guys you were going to have to deal with. He was going to be the man that you were going to have to beat, and unfortunately, slight contact between himself and the 16 sent him home prematurely. We'll see if Gage can recover at Rockingham. But Rockingham's going to be one of them tough tracks as well, so we'll see how everybody goes at the end of next week's race. But you know the sound. You hear him week in, week out. Producers ready to roll the final credits for tonight's The Sphere 115. So we're going to bring you your unofficial race results. Walking away with the checkered flag in the top spot in victory lane behind the wheel of that NOS 0. Number 16 machine, Derek Moore, takes away the race win. The McDonald's sponsored number 41 going to be a big deal here tonight. Doug Arga Bright going to walk away with second, while last week's race winner going to pick up 3 spots here tonight and finish in the final podium position in third. Nicholas Wing back and forth with Patrick Coro bringing that Frosty Buddies. Lockheed Martin number 91 home to fifth, sliding home sixth here tonight. The number 9 of Jake Doffy. Daniel Jensen gonna run a little short on fuel, and he will finish in 7th tonight. The 38 U.S. Army machine of Zach Miller in 8th. Andrew McConville will bring home the number 10 in the 9th position. Down 1 lap here tonight. The 77 of John Timms rounds out your top 10. Cody Schultz in 11th, Michael Overstreet back in 12th here tonight. Brian Tarnowski gonna pull that 28th Hauck Design sponsored machine home in 13th. Matt West 14th, Jeffrey Engel, big white knuckle moment early here tonight. Engel will finish 15th. Pit road problems for your race leader, Christian Abbasi, gonna have an early end to tonight's race. Abbasi gonna finish in 16th, and tough break for the Premier Racing Setup Pole Award winner Dave Gage. Contact outside wall, night done. We'll see if Gage can recover at Rockingham. We get a long season to go. We got some dirt track racing. We've got some road course racing. We've got short track action. We got old school action. A big mix of bags here with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Truck Series. That's going to do it for your running order. That's pretty much going to do it for us. But before we go, if you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy the racing action week in, week out, each and every Wednesday night right here on your home for eSpeed, the Turn 3 Racing Network. So again, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers love and drop that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, one of our many sponsors. Without you, there would be no us. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to shift gears and go old school racing at the Rock. So stay safe, stay in love, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.